Let me get it together. Let me get it together. Let me get it together. Let me find myself. Y'all know I can't do nothing until I find myself. Hey, Siri. Hey, Siri. Nope, they don't want to listen. I need to turn on my do not disturb. Anyway, y'all. Oh, I still got this roll in my head because that piece didn't curl. And so I'm just going to keep it moving. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Look, I've been trying to come on here for a while. I had to wait until I got my voice back. I missed y'all. I had to wait until I got my, it ain't all the way back. So that's why I got these things sitting here, because it ain't all the way back. And I still got that, what they call it, the Black and Mild cough. And I don't even smoke Black and Milds, but I still got that Black and Mild cough. It's, you know. So I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I do know that, I'm glad to be here because I got some things I want to talk about. I've been wanting to tell this story for a while. But before I get into that story, listen, make sure y'all follow me if y'all not following me and share my content, okay? And yeah, hey, and if y'all here this morning, say good morning. And if y'all catch me on the replay, make sure you let me know you catch me on the replay. But I got so many stories, but I want to tell this story first because this one, but y'all, before I get into the girl, my anxiety has been on 10 for the last week or so. To the point I'm like, girl, get it together. What is wrong with you? I mean, and so it started off by me seeing something that I hadn't seen in a while. And I'm going to just keep it there. I'm going to just keep it right there. Me seeing something that I hadn't seen in a long while. And next thing I know, and then y'all know my son joined the military. So it's a whole, okay? And then it's been so bad. My anxiety has been so high, okay, that I almost took myself out about 3 times. Y'all, I kid you not. First, I was doing yoga, okay? Y'all know I'm still a yogi beginner, right? And I do other stuff, but I was trying to move because I'm trying to get my back realigned because it is misaligned. And apparently the secret to getting it aligned is to go forward like this, like bend yourself like this, okay? And you almost got to be a contortionist, okay? But what I am saying is that I'm here forward. But I was on my bonsai ball, bending forward, trying to rock forward on my stomach, and next thing I know, face planted. Okay, took myself out right on the carpet. Carpet burn, okay? All right, not so bad. Could have been worse. Could have been my eye. All right, so keep going. But again, it was my anxiety, okay? I mean, my anxiety is so high that I messed around here one day and got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was maddish. Listen, now why I was mad? Because I knew I wasn't going to go back to sleep. When I got, because I didn't just get up like you kind of just get up. I popped up like pling. I said, see, Shika, there you go with that bullshit. I was like, you about to start. Next thing I know, I was watching shows on my iPad because once I got up at 3 o'clock, I already knew I was going to be up for a while. But let me tell you how else I took myself out of here. Hey, Angel, I almost took myself out of here. So I'm doggone moving this wagon I got in my backyard where I'm supposed to be making a whole doggone what is it? It's like a big black wagon where it's like a dump truck wagon. And I'm supposed to be making this whole flower bed out of it. Not flower bed, but not flower bed, but what is it called? The garden, right? When I get around to it, okay? So anyway, I'm pushing it. Now, I had been high pressure hose in my back porch. I got on dang on Crocs out in the grass. Baby, I'm pushing this heavy wagon because I already got like maybe 60 pounds of dirt in it already or something like that. So at this point, because it's heavy, the wheels don't roll and then the ground is wet, right? Because I've been high pressure hosing my back porch, so of course it's on the grass. Messed around here, y'all. All I can tell you is I'm so glad that I had my mouth closed, and I'm so glad that I was turned the way I was, because when I pushed the cart, when I was pushing the wagon, of course I'm pushing forward, and I slipped. And when I slipped, bam, hit myself right here on the wagon, okay? And all I could do was stand up, and I thought to myself, you know what, Yashika? You got to slow down. You got to slow down because I got a mark right here, right? However, and it's sore. However, all I was thinking about was, I'm so glad that it wasn't an inch or two higher, right? And we are going into the season of many years ago when this happened to me. So we're going into that season. So I had to really, really think about it. And I was like, so my anxiety is really high for so many reasons. And then the third thing I did was I have a habit of coming out of my garage, which is where I'm at now. And typically I'll raise my garage all the way up. I'm 5'7" and whatever. So I'll raise my garage all the way up. One day I didn't raise it all the way up. And so I'm walking to take something to my trash and didn't realize the garage wasn't all the way up. I said, well, damn, girl, you about to kill yourself. You're going to have to get it together, okay? That's what I realized, and I realized that it's my anxiety. I said, girl, slow down. However, I did lose 4 pounds because of it, so it's a win-win, okay? But it's gone, though. It's better today, y'all, so let me tell y'all the story about the girl. Now, I feel like I was being judged. I do. Listen, come on in here and say good morning to me. I feel like I was being judged. So let me tell y'all the story. And I got to give y'all the backstory on it in order to get to the story. So me and a girl a couple of weeks ago, fly to Texas. Okay, I called it our 100-hour trip to Texas. 100 hours. We spent exactly 100 hours in Texas, right? I pulled out of school. No, I didn't pull out of school. Yeah, I pulled out of school a couple hours early. We caught our flight on a Friday. We were back home that Monday, so she'd have missed Monday school. Other than that, we was in Texas for 100 hours. We did a whole bunch of things while we was there. But let's talk about the flight going there. Okay? Now, I got to set the stage for y'all. So let me set the stage for y'all in this flight. Now, let's back up. The last time she and I flew, she tells me she wanted the window seat, okay? Now, here's a little caveat. I'm already mad because I'm the person that if I fly to Texas or California, typically it's by myself, okay? And I'm able to fly in a different section of the plane, okay? Because when I fly anything over, let's say 3 hours, I have to think about my neck and my back and my knees, okay? So anything over 3 hours. So I already had price, and when I looked at how much, so I was like, so I had to spend the money that I would spend on my one trip for me and her both to fly to Texas. Okay, so there's that, all right? Sit with it, Yashika, all right? Because I'm still working through some things as a 51-year-old mom of a 10-year-old, okay? Because, you know, okay, I'm still working through some things, Lord. I'm still working through some things. I'm still getting adjusted. Okay? Anyway, time come, and we on the, so she tells me before we flew, when we flew before, she want the window seat. I say, Shania, well, in the black community, this is what I told her. Certain responsibilities come with the window seat, okay? Like, it's your job to tell whoever you flying with what's going on the outside. She was like, I could do that. I was like, Shania, okay, well, if you sit at the window, this is our discussion before. I said, I'm not sitting in the middle so I can feel, because I already know you can't handle what's going on in the window seat, okay? You can't. So I'm like, okay, because of my knees, okay, I'm going to sit on the end or at the window. I will never sit in the middle row. I don't care what's going on, okay? I will change flights before I sit in the middle row, okay? Because why? My neck and my knees and my back, okay? I'm going to make it uncomfortable for everybody, okay? Because that day right there, I'm going to show all my muscles. I'm going to make it uncomfortable for everybody if I got to sit in the middle, okay? Now, with that being said, I say, okay, Shania. So when I booked our flight, I put her in the window. I deliberately skipped this middle seat, and I put myself on the right side of her, okay? That's how it was on the plane. So when it was time for us to go, I told her, Shania, girl, I got you a window seat. You should be good. Sure enough, here come middle row lady. Middle row lady is a middle-aged middle row lady. Okay? Middle row lady is a middle-aged middle row lady. Okay? And y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? Her husband is sitting in the middle row in front of us. So when she's coming towards us, she notices that Shania's over there, the girl is over there, and I'm right here. So she immediately say, oh, if you want to sit next to your daughter, I can take the end seat. No, middle row lady, this was deliberate, okay? I deliberately made this flight reservations for her to sit against the window and me to sit on the right, because what I'm not about to be is the middle row lady. That's you, honey, okay? So, sure enough, she sits her, now mind you, middle row lady about 120 pounds, you know, blonde hair, you know. She about maybe in her mid-50s, okay? Okay. So, next thing I know, we flying to Texas. I done already started. Listen, I was already mad because right when it was time for them to get to me, because I'm like way in the back of the plane. I'm like row 16. I was mad because it's going to take me a minute to get my wine. Whereas if I had been in the front, I would already have my wine before we took off. So I already got an attitude, okay? Because it's already about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. This is a 3-hour flight. I figure I'm going to get it together because once I get there, I got to drive. Or I think, because I wasn't prepared for what was next yet, because there was things that was going on at that time, right? So here we go. So here we go. We on the flight. We about 30 minutes into the flight. Dago the doggone, what's up, Sunita P? Good to see you while I was there. Look, so the cart right there. Next thing I know, the plane start having turbulence. And I don't mean just a little bitty old turbulence. I mean that you drop down turbulence, right? Look, it was so bad that the pilots called for the carts to go and sit down, okay? So I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even get my wine yet. So I was really mad because I'm like, if some shit is going to go on, at least give me some, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm gonna need some wine, okay? Because before I get what I'm going, I'm already have to have gotten started. I'm like, Jesus already had my first glass on my way here. So that's how I felt about the situation, because I already know once you in that air, ain't nothing we can do about it, okay? So by this time, the girl got her windows closed, okay? And so she holding on to the doggone handrail. And she was like, oh my God. I was like, girl, open the window so I can see what's going on. She was like, I'm scared. I mean, she was full blown, like, she was full blown. And so now, middle row lady looking at me like, you not going to comfort my little daughter? I'm like, no, because I told her she wasn't ready for the window seat. I was like, because I wasn't sitting in the middle row to hold your hand, okay? I told you wasn't about that life yet, girl. I told you wasn't about that doggone window seat life yet. But no, you thought you was ready, right? And so in that moment, I felt like middle row lady and Shania were both judging me, right? I felt like they were both judging me. I felt like they were both looking at me like, you ain't shit as a mom. I was like, but I told her she wasn't ready for that window seat life. Okay, now, after the plane calmed down, I mean, there was a point where it dropped so bad that, I mean, even I was like, okay, Lord, well, and I, because when I take inventory when I get on the plane, I be like, well, there go some little kids, there go some old people. I was like, there's a few veterans. I was like, a few soldiers in uniform. That's me, okay? So, not only that, but I have faith about, what was revealed to me. Anyway, moving forward, I'm looking at Shania like, girl, so on the flight coming back, right? Granted, she was not in the middle row. I mean, the window seat. She was in the middle row, and I was on the window seat. And because I still got to see what's going on. I got to see, ain't nothing I can do about it. I can't fly the plane. I can't do nothing at all. Okay, nothing. I can't listen. It's just that's just what I was told. That's just what I was told. Okay, if you go, there was a comedian I think that said that years ago, that when it came to flying a plane, you got to be able to look out the window or you on the plane. So that's how I always grew up. Okay, I don't know what comedian I heard in the 80s that told me that, but it just stuck with me my whole life. And all I know is that the girl was not ready for that window seat life, but she thought she was. So let me tell y'all something. On the flight coming back home, y'all best believe she sat in that middle seat gracefully while I sat over in that window seat. And when there was a little turbulence, I show her again how to do it. I lift the window up. I looked outside. I looked into the front. I looked to the back. I looked and see what the other windows was doing. I looked again. I ain't see nothing. I closed the window down. She looked at me. We good? Girl, we good. That's the responsibility of the person at the window seat. Girl, we good. And so when there was a little turbulence, she squeezed my hand. I was like, we good, girl. Ain't nothing going on. I don't see nothing. The sky is pretty. The coast is clear. And girl, the lights is flickering. Ain't no other plane. Girl, ain't no birds out there. Girl, we is good. Okay, God got us. Girl, we good. She like, we good? We good. She snuggle up and stuff with a little blanket, with a little iPad. She's like, she had no stress on the flight coming home. Both of them were direct flights, about 3.5 hours, and she had no stress, okay? But I think she really learned, but I do think that her and little old lady was judging me, you know, but I didn't care because I felt like, you know what? Listen, my kids, I tell them all the time, I'm sorry, but y'all got to live in this world, okay? And I throw them out there. I throw them out there. My boys and my bonus daughters when I was married, and Shania, her, especially her being here with just she and I, because she doesn't have any older siblings in the house because everybody has moved out now. So it's just she and I. So when it comes to this parenting thing, it makes me go back to just like, listen, I have to teach you how to be self-sufficient in this world. She and I are 40 years apart, right? If I don't teach you, like this is part of it. Like, don't be afraid. You can't be afraid because why? Everything, I was saying this to my son last night, texted me. He just went off to play with Virginia Union, a football game this weekend, and he was texting me, and I could feel anxiety from my children, and I didn't know who it was coming from. And I thought it was coming from him, but I found that it was, it wasn't. Well, anyway, I'm asking, so I was asking him about being afraid or whatever. And he says, well, I don't really be afraid anymore. And I say, well, you know what, son, I said, everything I do, I still do afraid. Everything I do, there's a fear there. There's a certain level of fear that's in me that because we all fear, because I think it allows us to push ourselves. It allows us to say, okay, you know what? This is that fire I need in me to do my best, right? To show up in my best, right? Whereas there's some people find it debilitating. Some people find it, well, because I'm so afraid that I can't. But what I need like what I was trying to explain to my son is that I can't recall a time that I didn't do anything afraid. Like even if I've done it before, I'm still afraid. Like if it's something major, if it's something major, even if I've done it before, I'm still afraid. You know what I mean? Like I remember when we were in the Army, for example, when I was in the Army, those of you know that when you're in the military, you take PT tests at least every 6 months, minimum every 6 months. Yeah, minimum every 6 months, right? And so no matter how many times you take a PT test, right? And half of the time we get to a certain point, we don't even care no more about the score. However, we do care. And so there's a part of us that makes us anxious. We become we're kind of like nervous energy. And it's kind of, there's a fear there because you think about, well, I have to do whatever because of whatever, especially when you're prideful, when you have this, you want to sustain a certain things. And then you think about, well, I don't want to injure myself. And then you think about, well, I know other people are watching me for this reason. So because of this, there's always that fear there, that anxiousness there, right? And you've done a PT test. If you stayed in the Army, like I did 25 years. So at the minimum of 25 years, I did minimally 50 PT tests. Now, I know I've done more than that because of schools and things like that. But at the minimum, I did 50 PT tests. But I still can remember day one's PT test in basic training, or before we even got out of basic, when we was in reception or whatever. You have to take that 1 mile or whatever. Is that reception? Yeah. And then you got when I retired PT test, right? You still feel that anxiousness. Even then, even when I was about to retire, there still was an anxiousness if I had to take a PT test. So I just tell people that I've always done things where there was a fear in me, right? And I think that's something that we don't talk enough to our kids about, listen, it's okay to feel this way. Why? Because this is part of it. Do not let it debilitate you. Instead, because once you get going, because I'm like, okay, here we go. And then once I get started, I'm like, okay, because you need that. But then once you get going, you're like, okay, well, here we go. We starting. it's on. And then once you get going, you good to go, right? Once you get over that first event or whatever, or that first 10 seconds or however you doing your thing, after that, you good to go, right? Same thing if I press this live button. When I first press the live button on any time I go live, right? On any platform, it's one of those things that first few seconds, there's an energy exchange, right? Because you know that you're thinking about who's going to be on here. There's fear always present in everything, and I just think that it's a driving force. It shouldn't be something that you use it as debilitating. And like I was trying to explain to my daughter on that flight, once we come off the flight, right? It's not about anything else. Like, we have to be okay with some things are just out of our control. And it's just that simple. Some things are just out of our control, right? But that doesn't stop you from trying things. Like I can't control the flight, just like I can't control when I get in my car and other drivers, right? Anything when you talk about traveling, right? Anything, whether I walk to the corner or I get on my little 10-speed bike or whatever, my mountain bike, and do something, right? You can't control everything in life, but you can't let fear hinder you from enjoying things in life. Because if you do, then you're not going to never do this. You're not going to never do that, right? Because of this. I mean, some things people are really, really afraid of, right? And it stops them from doing certain things. But you have to ask yourself, what am I limiting myself to because of this? Am I limiting myself to staying in this box, or never traveling, or never doing anything outside of the comfort zone because of fear? And that's something that we have to, like I said, talk to our children about, because I think that they see us sometimes and they feel that, well, my parents are never afraid or whatever. And that's not the truth. We are all the time. In a lot of things, we're afraid for them. Like, I didn't even know that I was afraid for a person until I got my daughter. Like, to have a daughter in this world, because I grew up without a father figure in my life, like a permanent one. Like, I grew up without a father. And so when she got to be 10 this past summer or last year, and then things happened this summer, fear sunk into me. I never knew that I was like really, really afraid of something. However, but I still got to let her be her. I still can't keep her in this thing and say, well, I'm just going to keep you from all these things because I'm afraid for you, right? All I can do is talk to her, explain to her, show her, encourage her, try to protect her. Like I only can do what I can do, right? Because luckily I'm at home. And so I don't have I don't have to worry about like being at work, and so I'm blessed to be in that position now that I do have a daughter and that she doesn't have a father. But it's still a fear there that's constant. And so, but I have to always make sure that I'm not acting from a place of fear when I talk to her or when I raise her. But I have to let her know, but listen, you can't do this because of this. This is why. And not only that, but girl, I'm telling you, because if somebody get a hold of you, okay? Like one day I called her, she was at the playground. And I'm going to say this before I get off. She was at the playground. I live in a HOA area. And the playground is literally right here. Like I can sit on my porch and yell her name and she can hear me, right? It's a really beautiful playground. So I had ordered some food. And so I said, well, let me just go around here and pick her up. And so I looked, and where she was sitting, I didn't see that those kids were older than her, right? Well, they weren't older than her. They were actually all around the same age she was. It's just that they had already proceeded, because she's in the 5th grade this year. They had already proceeded to go to junior high. But prior to that, they all went to elementary together. And so they were all pretty much the same age, but I noticed that there were 2 boys and 1 girl. And so when I pulled up, the other kids started laughing. Like they looked and was like laughing. And so I asked her, what was that about? She was like, I don't know. I said, well, what were y'all talking about? And she was like, nothing. And I was like, so it didn't make me feel warm and fuzzy, right? And so I had to explain to her, I said, listen, honey, I need you to understand that you didn't really know those kids, okay? I didn't know those kids like that. I could see y'all, but I didn't know who they were, okay? I could see you got your phone on you. It's the playground. They live in our area. Okay, I don't really know them by name like that, but I can see you. But I need you to understand that everybody ain't your friend, okay? Everybody is not your friend, all right? And in that instance, I seen you be outnumbered. That's what I saw. In that instance, you were outnumbered. That's what I saw, because, see, all those kids knew each other. You didn't know them. Not like that. So for me, I saw you being outnumbered. And that doesn't sit well with me. So I'm going to need you to not put yourself in no positions like that again. And here's why. Okay? Everybody ain't your friend. Okay? Everybody is not your friend. And it's just that simple. Everybody is not your friend. That's what I saw. I saw you being outnumbered. Okay? So, here's what we going to do. You not going to that playground no more. And we live right here. You're not going to the playground no more unless I know you got about 3 or 4 of your friends with you. It's just that simple. Right? Good morning, Gary. How you doing? It's just that simple. You not going in no more. I don't care. Because why? You are now developing. Okay? And I know what happens out here in the world. So because of that, I have to allow you to be a kid, right? But I have to put parameters on it because of my fear, but it's also a protection. But I can't show her from that perspective. I have to let her know why. It's not that, no, you can't go. No, I have to let you know why, because this may not be the only time you're in a situation where you may be outnumbered. Because I know I've been in some situations where I was outnumbered, and honey, I had to fight for my life. And I know this to be true. I had to fight for my life. I sure did. And I was outnumbered. So we can't say it doesn't happen. But I don't want to keep her so indoors or so whatever, right? Because, I mean, why? Then how she going to learn? I'm going to throw out there at the end and say, well, now that you're 20-something, go out there and conquer the world? No. And so I tell my kids, so listen, you got to get out here and get it. You can't be afraid. You can't rely on me to protect you from everything, because I'm not going to always be here. And even if I'm here, I'm not going to always want to. Shit, I'm tired. I'm 51. Okay? I'm going to need you to figure some things out on your own. You know, let me see if what I taught you can use, or you know how to use it. Why are you calling me to solve your problem? You can't call nobody else. Ain't nobody else you can call. Nobody. I'm just saying. You know, sometimes I don't want to think for nobody but myself. Right? Sometimes I don't want to think for nobody but myself. But you know, they say when you become a parent, you ain't never there. But anyway, I just want to see if my skills, right, the skills that I've taught them is going to be able to sustain them without me. They got to be able to problem solve, right? Well, anyway, y'all, what y'all think? Y'all think that Shania and the middle row lady was judging me? Because I think they was. Because that middle row lady, I remember her, back to that story. She looked at me and she was like, you not going to hold your daughter's hand? No, because I don't want to reach over you. I don't want to reach over you. And I was dead ass. All I was really mad about was I was really mad because I hadn't got my wine yet. And at this point, we was about an hour into the flight, and I still hadn't got my wine yet. So it was good. We was good into wine time. You understand what I'm saying? We was good into wine time. I know we was going backwards in time, but we was good into my wine time. But because of the turbulence, I couldn't get my wine. And she wanted me to hold her hand. Girl, you better figure life out. Because, I mean, at this point, what you want me to do? I mean, and the way I see it, real talk. I'm up here asking, trying to remember if I, while we going through this turbulence, I'm like, Lord, did I ask you to forgive me for that last sin? Like, girl, you got a better chance of surviving than I do. Like, seriously, like, haven't y'all ever seen where it be like one kid? I'm like, girl, you got a better chance than I do, because I'm up here, Lord, forgive me for that. Lord, I know I didn't. You know what? Lord, don't let this be it, because I know. Okay, well, Lord, please forgive me for it. I was just baptized. How long ago was I baptized? You know. So, I mean, this is what I'm thinking. I mean, like, I'm looking at her like, girl, I mean, and the lady like, you not going to hold her? I mean, there was like a million thoughts in my head in that moment. Right? Because it ain't like you ain't already replayed this when you fly. Right? You ain't like you ain't never thought about these things when you fly already. You be like, Lord, you know, like you said a little prayer, like, forgive me for it. You was like, did I do that before I take out? Let me make sure. Because when they doing little instructions, you like, Lord, okay, you like, forgive me for all my sin. You know, you preparing yourself. You didn't flew enough. You know, you didn't flew enough that you already know what you're supposed to do when you get on there. All right? You already know what you're supposed to do when you get on there. Why? Because it's out of your control. It's out of your control. You can't even swerve to the left, swerve to the right, help the pilot out. You can't. It ain't going to make no difference. It ain't going to make no difference. It ain't going to Make no difference, okay? It ain't gonna make no difference, okay? So Shania had a responsibility. She didn't do her responsibility, and I can tell you what, it'll be a long time before she asks for a window seat again. It'll be a long time before she asks for a window seat again, okay? But I felt like they was judging me. I don't know if I really care, but that woman, she was like, I was like, girl, hold her hand. Hold her hand. You know, and I told her it takes a village. And I'm telling you, that's what I told that woman. I said, girl, she was like, do you mind, honey? No, it takes a village to raise a child. You understand what I'm saying? Hold her hand, honey. Hold her hand. Because I know you can't hold, girl, hold her hand. Her husband even looked back there. You all right, honey? She was like, yeah, that was pretty scary for me, too. I was like, you know what? At this moment, it looked like y'all need each other. It looked like, because in how I knew that, let me tell y'all how I knew. Because now I might be judging now because I did think this right. I'm going to say this because I forgot before I go. I kid y'all not. When it was time for them to get off the flight. Now, mind you, the husband's flight was, Lord, if this woman watched this video, the husband's seat was in front of us. They had 2 carry-on bags up at the top. I kid you not. You know, I'm just telling y'all what I saw. Okay, I'm just telling y'all what I saw. And I didn't really understand that part because I didn't know. It's been a long time since I've been married. Okay, it's been 14 years. So I don't know how much the rules have changed. I don't know what's in the agreement. I don't know, you know, I don't know anything. Okay, but what I do know is I saw this, and this is what I saw. Okay, I saw the man get up, right? Because we were the seat behind. So, of course, he gets up before us, pulls down the 2 bags, puts hers in the seats, puts his on the floor, turns to her and says, your suitcase is right here, and strolls his ass on off. Okay? So I pulled, now even the other gentleman pulled down Shania and my suitcase, right? Another passenger. He pulled down, a black guy pulled down Shania and I's suitcase because, you know, when I fly, I'm flying in a whole dress and I'm like a damsel in distress. Okay? And that's me. Okay? That is me, honey. Contrary to what y'all believe, I'm a whole damsel in distress. So anyway, he puts it up there. I'm a whole damsel in distress. So anyway, he puts it up there for Shania and I. Okay? Both of our bags and everything. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, Black King. Okay, thank you. So anyway, time come and he gets it for us. Thank you so much. He carries on. So this man goes off. So then when we get to, you know how you get off the plane and you go through the hallway. So I'm thinking he's gonna wait on her. You know, right there. No, honey. He was still gone and she had to catch up with him. And I was like, well, okay. Well, anyway, so in that moment of the flight and the turbulence, I felt like her and Shania needed each other because she needed her hand held too, you know? So I believe that that's where they were supposed to be. And that's why she was like, do you mind? Honey, it takes a village. You do what you got to do. So she's like, oh my God, this was scary for me too. Shania was like, yeah. Oh my God. I mean, I'm not making this shit up, y'all. I promise y'all it was just like this. And I was like, oh my God, it was just like that. And the lady was like, because it was scary for me too. And I'm over here like, are we done yet so I can get my wine? Because between y'all two and I drunk, here they come. Here they come. Here they come. Let me find me a movie. Because we got 2 more hours. Anyway, I'll tell y'all about the trip to Texas later, now that I got my voice back. Listen, I don't know who this was for, but I hope it was for somebody, y'all. Okay, talk to y'all in the next live.